The Epstein document case is demanding answers from the Justice Department and threatening serious consequences if he doesn't get them. On Thursday, the judge said he wants to know why the DOJ hasn't released some records from investigations into Epstein. Judge Emmett Sullivan told DOJ lawyers he'd hold contempt proceedings and refer them to the bar for discipline, a move that could ruin their careers. This is all part of a lawsuit filed by journalist Katie Phang against now Attorney General Todd Blanche, and it aims to force the release of some documents and to lift some redactions. Phang discussed the suit with CNN's Jake Tapper.
I don't want people to be improperly exposed. That is not what the DOJ, well, that's what the DOJ said today, but that's not the case. What I want is the DOJ to follow the law.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less. And what we have seen time and time again is this active concealment and cover up by this DOJ to not release this information. I also want the files that Todd Blanche continues to sit on.
Like 3 million of them, right?
Yes, he claims that they're duplicative. He claims that they're not responsive. And yet what we heard today, even from Judge Sullivan, is, I don't believe you, DOJ. You have to show your work. And once again today, there was no actual proof provided by Todd Blanche.
New evidence in the trial for Massachusetts mother Lindsay Clancy, who's accused of killing her 3 young children. On Thursday, jurors saw images taken from inside the home hours after the killings. They were also shown entries from Clancy's phone detailing her state of mind. CNN's Gene Casares has more. There might be some disturbing images here.
Thursday's testimony in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial involved on the stand Massachusetts state police officers who were forensic examiners, one testifying about Patrick Clancy's computer, the other testifying about Lindsay Clancy's cell phone. On Lindsay Clancy's cell phone, in the notes area, she had written firsthand about her life, about her children, about her dreams, and about her fears. Listen to some of the words that came from Lindsay Clancy at the end of October 2022. A change was made, not sure it was beginning of November, but close in time to when she killed her children.
I'm sad and depressed because I am not able to parent my 3rd child like my first. I want to treat any one of my babies like my first, but I know that's not a feasible possibility. I'm sad that I stopped breastfeeding. I feel not as connected with Cal now. I think I sort of resent my other children because they prevent me from treating Cal like my first baby. And I know that's not fair to them. I know that. I was feeling so depressed last evening when Cora and Dawson came home from school. I know it runs off on them, so we had a pretty rough evening. I want to feel love and connection with all my kids. I'm also probably having a bit of an internal conflict because my whole life I wanted to have a lot of kids. I still don't want Cal to be our last, but I have a lot of figuring out to do before I have another. I'm on the fence about starting a new medication for anxiety/depression. I just want to feel happy. I want to be able to relax and take care of my kids. And then when they go to bed at night, I want to deeply relax and hang out with Pat and then fall into a deep sleep for 8 hours, get up and pour hard into myself for an hour and a half.
Following that, the case officer from the Massachusetts State Police for this prosecution took the stand and showed some video from the upstairs bedroom. And we want you to be able to watch some of that because this is the upstairs bedroom where Lindsay Clancy had gone after she killed her children, and she jumped out of the window after cutting herself with a kitchen knife in her wrists and her neck. Prosecution witnesses said it was superficial wounds, but the blood is on the floor. There is the knife that's on the nightstand. But one point that the officer made was that there was no blood spatter at all on the walls. One last thing that was part of the testimony on Thursday, we don't know what it means. We don't know who wrote it, but it was a search that was done on the computer 4 days before Lindsay Clancy killed her children. And that search was, can you treat a sociopath? Gene Casares, CNN, New York.
Sources tell CNN plea negotiations are underway between accused killer Luigi Mangione and federal prosecutors. Mangione is expected in court Friday morning. He's accused of the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. In the Southern District of New York, Mangione faces federal stalking charges connected to Thompson's killing. In the state case, Mangione faces second-degree murder and weapons charges. A critical deadline passes as rescue teams in Colombia search for earthquake victims, and updates on that and our other top headlines next.
The 90s was...
Welcome back to The Story Is. I'm Brian Abel. Let's take a look at today's top stories. A U.S. official tells CNN the Pentagon is replacing an aircraft carrier deployed for operations against Iran. The official says the USS George Washington is headed to the Middle East to take over from the USS Abraham Lincoln. That follows reports of horrific living conditions and worsening mental health among the Lincoln's crew. Emergency rescue teams in Colombia are still searching for survivors of Monday's earthquake. At least 281 people have died. The president says 379 people are still missing, but experts say the chance of finding anybody alive in the rubble significantly dropped after the 72-hour mark. Todd Blanche gave his first address to Justice Department employees since taking over as U.S. Attorney General and vowed to lead with integrity. The former personal lawyer of President Trump also promised to carry out his duties without fear or favor. But there are concerns he'll continue to carry out more of the president's retribution campaign. Thank you for joining me. I'm Brian Abel. Much more coming up next on CNN.
The